thank you for getting back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Guido van der Water, a nature photographer from the Netherlands. I make landscape photography videos on this channel. Sometimes birds, animals, but most of the time it's all about landscapes. So I want to thank everyone who subscribed to my channel already. And from this moment on, I'm just having a look here on my YouTube channel. I got 544 subscribers, and I kind of decided when I passed the 500 mark that I would make a video to let people know me a little bit more. So I've got a couple of images ready here on my computer that I took over the past years. And I'm only creating videos for the past half year, so most of you don't even know what I did before this. So I selected the images that are my personal favorites, and this can be because I just think it's a stunning image, but sometimes an image has a certain feeling to it, or it was how do you say that? The moment in time, or something that happened that made that a special moment for me. And maybe it's not the best picture to you, but because it has this feeling, it's a great picture for me. So, but that's the beauty of photography. It's really subjective, and everyone can think of it what he wants. But what I wanted to show you was a little bit more about myself, tell you a little bit more about how I started in photography, and so not the usual video outdoor in nature, so just a different video. But I have to tell you, the next two videos that are coming next week and the week after, they are just amazing. And I didn't include any images in here yet because I want to keep them quite a surprise. But there are multiple images in those two videos that would have easily got into my best of list here. So if I made this video about 2 weeks from now, this list would be completely different. So it's absolutely worth checking them out. So if you push the subscribe button and the little notification bell, then you will get a message next week when the video is released. And I hope you will watch it. So let's dive into it, and let me show you a little bit about myself. So I made the mouse a little bit clearer so you can see what I'm doing here on my computer screen. And one of the reasons why it took so long to make a video like this is that I just didn't figure out how to record my computer screen. So it's quite difficult to tell something about a photo if you can't get people to see them. So you get what I'm saying, right? So my channel, 544 subscribers already. If you're new, there are at the moment 28 videos up here. All shot on location in nature. Most of them are in the Netherlands, and a couple of them, I think about 6, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos are made in Scotland when I was there at the beginning of this year. And I can already tell you in October I'm going to Denmark for a week, so hopefully that can create a little bit different content also. So let me show you here where I live, the Netherlands. If people who don't know it, it's flat, and we don't have any mountains, or we don't have really stunning wildlife or things. But at the beginning of this channel I was a bit skeptic about that, but it's proven actually to be a really nice place for photography, and especially the kind of photography that I really like. So I wanted to show you a little more about me. I live in this area here, and the places I shoot most are right over here. This is the Veluwe, National Park the Veluwe, beautiful area. This is one of my favorite areas. The video of last week and the one of next week are all shot here in National Park the Maasduinen. And I recently discovered a place about here. It's called Oosterwijkse Venne and the Campina. Those are really popular places to me. And right a little bit closer to my home, about here we have the Hatertse Venne. It's also nice, but it's quite small, and I always think it's quite tricky for photography. But these are places I visit regularly, but you will see that not all images are from these areas. I've come across the Netherlands in different areas also, but these are all within about 30 to 45 minutes driving distance, and that's pretty nice, and I just like that. There are a couple of areas around here that I'm planning to explore, but I just read on the internet that one of these areas is completely burned off at the moment. so might have to take a while before I'm going in there. So let me show you the images that I selected. Yeah, first of all, yeah, I started this YouTube channel yeah, as a nobody I think it was March this year, and after a couple of videos I got some emails from Olympus or OM System in the Netherlands, and yeah, really nice people, and we met each other a couple of times, and I gave her a reading on their stand during a photo fair in the Netherlands, and eventually that resulted in me being an OM System ambassador. And yeah, I'm really proud of that. I'm shooting with Olympus, yeah, which is now OM System for over 25 years. I think I was 12 when I bought my first OM30 camera, and still analog at that time. But yeah, I've never switched brands from that moment on. So really happy with that stuff. So let's get into it, and yeah, let me show you my personal favorite images. I'm going to start with what I did about a couple of years ago, and I only did photography during holidays, and I always wanted to record wildlife, and yeah, I just love Africa, and I went there a couple of times, and we traveled around the world to find birds and wildlife, but I never was really satisfied with the results. So let me show you some of those images yeah, quite quickly, what I photographed earlier. So this is one image, I think it was back in 2013, still with the Olympus E3 camera. Yeah, we were driving from the camp, and I think we were sleeping in Lower Sabi in the Kruger National Park, if I'm not mistaken. And what people intend to do when you stay in a camp like Kruger National Park, there are large maps at the gate, and people put pinpoints there where they've seen animals, and before the gate opens everybody looks at that map, and oh, there are elephants and lions, and they're all there. So what happens is the gate opens and everyone goes straight to the pins where the lions were last seen. So most of the time when I went there I decided to do completely different. If everybody went left, I went right, because what that means is most of the times the next camp is about 2 hours away, and it means that you have the road for about 2 hours for yourself. So there's no one. Now, let's say someone comes from the other camp in the other direction, so that will say that it's an hour that you have nobody before you. And yeah, you see animals on the road, crossing the road, beautiful sunrises, and yeah, this is this lucky occasion where this kudu just stood right into the sun, and yeah, I could make this picture. I'm still really happy with it. I think the sun is a little bit clipped, but I'm still happy with it. This is also a picture from the Kruger National Park. Yeah, it's not the most special picture, but I've been in Africa for 5 times, and I always wanted to picture this bird. And this is the purple roller, and it's yeah, I don't know if it's really rare, but I'd never seen it. And I was sitting, I think this was with my wife in 2016, and we were sitting on the restaurant in a camp, and I had been really sick for a couple of days, and couldn't have done anything. So we were sitting there eating, and just right next to the terrace, this bird sat on this couple of yeah, what's it, branches, and I think it's the top of a dead tree that was standing there. And yeah, I got my camera and I told my wife, just wait a minute, I have to shoot this bird. And yeah, I could take this image, and I'm still really happy with this one. So this is not this is an example from not the best image, but it has a certain feeling for me, which really makes it worth for me. There's another one from Arizona in the United States. I read somewhere that there were a lot of hummingbirds over there, and I found a woman who rented out her garden. She made it grow wild, and all these hummingbirds came over to her garden, and they were totally wild. And you just, yeah, I think it was $20 you have to put in the mailbox, and you can sit around her garden all day long, shoot the hummingbirds. And yeah, this is one of them, and I just really love this image. This is actually the first time I shot a flying bird, so it's quite easy actually with the hummingbirds because they stay at the same point all the time, but I just like that shot. There's another example from Africa. What will happen when you drive in the opposite direction from everyone else? You've got the road for yourself, and yeah, this is what happened. These lions were laying in the mist. Yeah, amazing. You can only encounter this once in your life. Yeah, we're still really happy with this shot. I think it could have been much better, but at the moment we drove there, we thought there were rocks on laying on the road. But when we got closer, we noticed they were lions, and they immediately stood up and started running around from one side to another. And this is actually the only shot I got with all of them still in. I think the small ones went to the right, the big ones to the left, and eventually one by one they ran over the road. But yeah, it was just a really great moment. This is one during my honeymoon. We went to Indonesia, and yeah, of course I wanted to shoot some wildlife during my honeymoon. And we went to Sumatra, booked a nice lodge there, right in the middle of a national park. I think it was called Gunung Leuser National Park. And we hiked through the rainforest for about 3 days. And on 2 occasions we encountered a group of orang-utan. And I think this is the best shot that was in there. You know, it was really dark. It was an old camera. I wasn't that good of a photographer back then, but I'm still really happy with this one. Another picture that has a certain feeling to it. This is actually I think my first landscape picture, shot in South Africa back in 2013. And believe it or not, this is actually shot directly from the terrace of my holiday home. So we rented a place there, and this was the view. So yeah, I just sat there in the evening, and the sun went down, and yeah, just everything came together. I didn't have to do a lot of editing to it. Also, it's just yeah, a lucky moment, I think. This is also from Africa, but this time it's in Namibia. Yeah, it's actually my lodge is just down here. Around the corner of these rocks, and there was a trail going up here, and yeah, I walked up there. I think this was in the morning, and yeah, I took this shot, and I was really happy with it. And when I was sitting at the breakfast table a couple of hours later, next to me was an American man. Yeah, he was pretty old. I think he was in 70s or 80s maybe, and he actually went up there the night before and shot the Milky Way there. And this guy came all the way from Seattle to this spot because this was one of the darkest places in the world. And he actually arranged with the lodge to take down the lights. And yeah, he just shot this amazing photo, and so maybe worth going back there once, but it's quite expensive. So this is actually, I think, my very first landscape photography picture that I really intended to take this picture. And or let's say that I went out on a trip especially for landscape photography. So I walked around the Postbank. It's one of those areas I just showed you, and yeah, I found this dead tree, and it was just yeah, absolutely amazing. And I stood there, and I knew the sun would come between the fog, and I just waited until that happened, and yeah, I took that shot. And yeah, I just love how this side light comes onto this tree, and yeah. And at the moment I took this image, I think I let go of the bird and the wildlife photography a bit, because I knew this just hit me. I just knew that I could do much more with this than with wildlife. There's another one of those crazy mornings. You can see the ice here down on the river, and I drove from my home, and I thought, oh damn, it's a cloudy day, and yeah, nothing's gonna happen. But I was sitting there, and I walked around a bit, and I just noticed the sun popping through a little hole in the clouds back there, and it just illuminated this complete sky, and it was just an amazing feeling. And yeah, I haven't seen this good of a red sky ever since before, or after this. This is another one from the Netherlands. It's actually made in the far north of the Netherlands, and yeah, it's a little lighthouse. I walked there in the afternoon, and I said to my wife, "Hey, I'm gonna go by here tonight and make some pictures." And I actually shot this image, which was quite difficult to get the stars in and not expose this lighthouse here. But yeah, in the end, I'm just really happy with this result. And when I posted this on Instagram, people just said, "Oh my God, you have a nice composition and something, yeah, really different than what everyone else shoots here." So I was like, okay, what is this place? I just never heard of it before. So I looked it up on the internet, and actually all of the people just stood under this bridge and shot straight down. And yeah, I think because I didn't know it, I found this different composition, and that's why I don't like to plan my trips. If you don't have an image in mind, then yeah, this is yeah, the result that you get. This is purely creative, on the spot thinking. Yeah, this is another bird, a long-eared owl, and yeah, I think I was after this shot for about 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and yeah, you would think it would cost me a lot of time to find this, but yeah, to be honest, this tree is right here in my garden. So it's actually in my neighbor's garden. I just yeah, really lucky with that. And there were groups of these owls sitting on here for about 3 years. They would come back every time into that tree, and sometimes there were 10, sometimes there were 12. So yeah, I shot them a lot, and I think this is one of the best images. It just yeah, has this special feeling to it. So yeah, sometimes you don't have to travel very far to get a nice image. This one's from Austria. I went there last year. I actually put the images in order from when I took it to recent time. So it yeah, they're getting more recent the further I get. So this is from last year actually. Austria, we went and we had quite a difficult time with a child on the intensive care in the hospital, and when he finally got out of the hospital, we were all both thinking we need a break, and so we decided very last minute to book this trip, and yeah, I scouted this on Google Maps the night before. I thought, oh, there's a nice lake, let's get over there and yeah, see what will happen. So I found this composition, I sat there, and I was just waiting for some light to get into the image. But then, yeah, this alpenglow came, and I've seen it on other YouTube channels, and yeah, I didn't expect it at all. So at the moment this happened, I was like, whoa, you get what I mean. So yeah, really a stunning image. It would have been better if there were some clouds here, but it's just this moment, and this first time I noticed this alpenglow, and it's just yeah, really amazing moment. So the next shot, also from that same lake in Austria, you can see it actually here. This is the little church that you're seeing, and it's back here. But I just love this, these colors, these autumn colors, the watercolor, the straight lines. Just everything just fits in this image. Actually, I only noticed the fisherman when I got back home, but yeah, I just love the way this man is sitting here. Another one from Austria. We visited this waterfall, and yeah, I just couldn't find a nice composition of this waterfall. But when I walked back to my smallest child that was sitting in his stroller, and I turned around and I saw my wife with Grandpa and my oldest son looking at the waterfall, and I immediately know this is a killer shot. So I got the right lens on very fast, took this image, and I think this is one of my all-time favorite images also. This one is shot in Denmark. A couple of years ago, I think maybe 1 or 2 years ago, and it's just in the middle of a storm during sunset. I walked on this pier about 30 times before I got the right shot, and it's actually a long exposure. I think it's a 15 or 30 second exposure, and every time I had to stand extremely still, but then yeah, a really nice image. This one's with my son last year on the Veluwe. It's called the Spul de Bos, a really fairy tale like forest. I think I will shoot some videos there in this autumn also, but this just when this forest is turning and there's a little bit of fog in it, it's just really stunning. So I found this S-curve road with this light rays, and yeah, I put myself and my son in it, and yeah, just a really nice image. And also tried the same forest shot with myself. I just took it without myself, and I think it was a little bit boring, so I just stood in the middle here, and yeah, I think this is one of my best selfies until now. If you're watching this channel, then you know I like to take some once in a while. Yeah, this is actually the first image from one of my videos. So this is actually when I started this YouTube channel back in March, I think February, March. I think I recorded this image, and yeah, a little bit of fog, so I'll put a link to the video up here. And yeah, it was just an amazing moment. This side light came completely unexpected, and this fog was unexpected, and yeah, I really liked it. I actually had to clone away a little bit here, because there's a house in the forest, and there were 2 windows, and someone just switched on the lights. So I didn't really like that, so I cloned that out, so don't tell anyone. Yeah, this is actually one of the worst videos I've made. It's actually quite a nice video, but it's the worst day of photography that I had in my life, I think. And I lost my microphone. I was cold, I was wet, I was totally exhausted. I drove for about 2.5 hours, but yeah, this image has grown on me since then. And when I got home, I thought, I've got absolutely nothing from this day, but yeah, the longer it takes, yeah, the more satisfying this picture comes to me, and yeah, that's actually really nice. This is another one I shot in National Park, the Maasduinen, a couple of months ago. Yeah, I just love the composition, how these grasses are getting towards the sunlight, this fog, this little magenta colors to it. That's just a stunning image to me. This one's from Scotland. Yeah, I put a link to the video up here. Actually, yeah, I just drove by there. If you see the video, you will see a little bit more of the environment. But I noticed this bush and this side light with a little bit of fog on the water, and yeah, I just knew I have to stop here and park the car, shot this image, and really happy with it. And the next image is actually one that I'm pretty excited about myself, because it got a little bit creative. It's also in the video, but you can see here these bushes. There are a couple of these birch trees here on the right, and yeah, I lay down on the ground with a 300mm, and I actually shot this one, and yeah, I just really like this. This is a really creative image, and yeah, I just love how this worked out in the end. This is another one from Scotland, from my son. There's also a video, I'll put the link up here. It's not the best images in this video, but I just love this moment. We were up very early, and we drove around these mountains, and we stopped at the highest point, walked out, and my son stood on this hill and pointed out where we had to go. And yeah, I quickly grabbed this image, and yeah, I put it in black and white because the contrast was a little bit better. All the colors were a little bit the same, and he was wearing I think a green jacket also. So all colors were really the same, but actually because yeah, I put it in black and white, he just got out of this image. So yeah, it's a really personal one, not the best one for you maybe, but I just really love this image. This is also one we drove down from this mountain where we just took the last image. And I saw this patch of light rolling into the mountains on the other side of the log. And I just quickly got out of the car, put on the big telephoto lens, and just followed that light until it passed something spectacular. And it just passed this group of bushes, and I just love this image. There's some painterly-like style to it that I'm just really excited about. This one also from Scotland, from Glencoe. You probably know that area if you like nature photography. I put a video up here. It's actually quite a nice video. Yeah, I went there to shoot some waterfalls with epic mountains and maybe some wildlife. But when I drove there, I noticed all these light rays on the horizon, very far in the distance. So I put on a big telephoto, put the camera on the tripod, and I just tried to shoot a panel from this. And I'm not sure, I think this is part of a panel, but I think this is about 8 or 9 vertical images that I stitched together. And yeah, it just worked out really nicely. It's just, yeah, I wouldn't expect to shoot a panel with a big 300mm lens, but yeah, it just worked out really nice. This is a very recent one. I just didn't record a video at this moment, but I put the video in one of my videos that I recorded a couple of days later, just to show you. But yeah, I just love this image. I was out here with a friend of mine, and yeah, we were standing. I composed this scene with this tree in it and the sun behind it, and I told to my friend, oh, it would be nice if one of these bulls that we could hear in the background would stand somewhere underneath this tree. And yeah, actually out of nothing, this bull just walked into my frame. So it's completely lucky. But yeah, I just love this image, especially how these grasses seem to be in such a circular shape. I don't know how that happened, but I'm just really happy with it. This is actually a very recent one. I think this is from last week's video or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I just love this atmosphere around this image, this magenta colors, the sun that didn't clip out. I think these trees just go very well together. Yeah, there's a good balance in this picture. I don't know what it is, but it just caught me. Maybe someone else would have chosen another picture from this video that they like best, but yeah, I just think this yeah, this one stood out for me at that moment. So those were the images I wanted to show you. Maybe I'll make some more of these videos that I can show you how I edit my pictures in the future. If you would like that, then please leave a comment. I don't know if you people are, yeah, if you people are interested in that. So if you would like to see that, then please leave a comment, and I'll make some of these videos in the future. So yeah, I want to thank you for watching. Thank you all for subscribing, and yeah, I hope you will subscribe to the channel. And yeah, like I said, make sure you watch next week's video and the week after, because those are just stunning conditions. And I think yeah, some of my best pictures yet. And I think maybe 4 or 5 of them would have easily fitted into this list. And I could have added another 100 pictures, but yeah, these were just my personal favorites at this moment. But the funny thing about photography is, like I said, it's very subjective. It's also very subjective to your own mood, because if you ask me in 2 weeks' time, I might have selected a couple of different images. And yeah, that's a nice thing about photography. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you on the next video. Then yeah, please push the subscribe button and the thumbs up button if you like this video. And I just hope to see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.